The skies above Metropolis darkened ominously, thunder rumbling across the cityscape. This was no ordinary storm, no natural occurrence. People on the streets paused, their eyes drawn upward as a streak of red and blue soared through the blackened heavens. Superman, the Man of Steel, was heading straight toward the source of the disturbance. His face, usually calm and reassuring, was now etched with grim determination. Below him, chaos reigned. Buildings trembled, car alarms blared, and citizens scrambled for safety. At the heart of the destruction, a hulking figure emerged from the shadows of the ruins. Doomsday had arrived. The creature was monstrous, a nightmarish vision of raw power and unrelenting fury. Bone-like protrusions jutted from its gray, stone-like skin, and its glowing, hate-filled eyes scanned the city as if daring anyone to challenge its dominance. Each step it took sent shockwaves through the ground, leaving craters in its wake. Superman descended, landing with a thud that cracked the pavement. The crowd, still in awe of their hero, cheered momentarily before the sight of Doomsday silenced them. Lois Lane, watching from a nearby rooftop, clutched her press badge tightly. Her heart pounded, not from fear but from the sheer magnitude of the confrontation she was about to witness. "Doomsday," Superman said, his voice firm yet calm. "Turn back. This doesn't have to end in violence." The creature's response was a guttural roar that echoed across the city. Without warning, it charged, moving with a speed that belied its massive frame. Superman barely had time to brace himself before Doomsday's fist collided with his chest, sending him hurtling through a nearby building. Glass shattered, and debris rained down as the structure groaned under the impact. Superman emerged from the rubble, unharmed but visibly shaken. He launched himself at Doomsday, his fists a blur as he struck the creature with enough force to level mountains. Doomsday staggered but quickly retaliated, swinging its spiked fists with devastating precision. Each blow was met with an earth-shattering sound, the clash of two unstoppable forces reverberating through the city. As the battle raged, the landscape of Metropolis transformed into a war zone. Streets cracked open, fire hydrants erupted, and vehicles were tossed aside like toys. The people of Metropolis, powerless against the sheer scale of the destruction, fled in every direction. Emergency services worked tirelessly to evacuate civilians, their sirens drowned out by the roars and booms of the titanic struggle. Superman knew he had to end this quickly. He grabbed Doomsday by the arm and took to the skies, flying upward with incredible speed. The air grew thin as they ascended, the ground below shrinking into a patchwork of lights. Superman's plan was to hurl the creature into the upper atmosphere, far from civilization. But Doomsday's strength was unimaginable. It twisted free, slamming Superman with a bone-crushing blow that sent him plummeting back to Earth. The impact created a massive crater, and for a moment, all was silent. Then, from the dust and rubble, Superman rose. Blood trickled from a gash on his forehead, and his cape was torn, but his resolve remained unbroken. He looked up just in time to see Doomsday descending toward him like a meteor. Superman's heat vision flared to life, twin beams of searing energy striking Doomsday midair. The creature roared in pain but pushed through, landing with a ground-shaking thud. The two collided once more, their battle resuming with renewed intensity. Meanwhile, Lex Luthor watched the spectacle from his penthouse, a glass of brandy in hand. His lips curled into a smirk. Though he despised Superman, even he couldn't help but marvel at the hero's tenacity. Luthor's mind raced with possibilities. If Superman fell today, what would it mean for the world? For him, back on the battlefield, Superman was struggling. Doomsday's ability to adapt to attacks was unparalleled. Each time Superman tried a new tactic, the creature countered with even greater ferocity. It was as if Doomsday's strength grew with every blow it took. Superman's thoughts raced. He needed a plan, a way to exploit Doomsday's few weaknesses. Kryptonite was useless. Doomsday was not from Krypton, and its biology was unlike anything Superman had ever encountered. As the creature lunged at him again, Superman's mind flashed to the Phantom Zone, a pocket dimension used to imprison Krypton's most dangerous criminals. If I can lure him there, Superman thought, I might be able to contain him. The plan was risky. The Phantom Zone projector was in the Fortress of Solitude, miles away. But there was no other option. Superman soared into the sky, drawing Doomsday's attention. The creature followed, leaping with incredible force, its claws outstretched. Lois, still watching from her precarious vantage point, felt a pang of fear as she saw Superman retreat. She knew him well enough to understand he wasn't running from the fight but toward a solution. She just hoped he'd make it in time. Superman pushed himself to the limit, flying faster than he ever had. The Arctic winds bit at his skin as he neared the fortress. Behind him, Doomsday closed the gap, its relentless pursuit a testament to its single-minded desire to destroy. Superman landed at the fortress and immediately activated the Phantom Zone projector. A portal began to form, swirling with otherworldly energy. But before Superman could lure Doomsday into it, the creature smashed into him, sending them both crashing through the crystalline walls of the fortress. Superman groaned, his body aching from the relentless assault. He staggered to his feet, his eyes glowing with determination. This ends now, he said. With a mighty effort, Superman tackled Doomsday, forcing the creature toward the portal. The struggle was titanic, each second feeling like an eternity. Doomsday's claws tore at Superman's suit, its roars deafening. But Superman held firm, using every ounce of his strength to push the creature closer to the portal. Finally, with a desperate shout, Superman hurled Doomsday into the swirling void. The creature let out a final, blood-curdling roar as it was pulled into the Phantom Zone, the portal closing behind it. The fortress fell silent, save for Superman's heavy breathing. He collapsed to his knees, exhaustion overtaking him. The fight had taken everything he had, but he'd won. Metropolis was safe once more. Hours later, back in the city, Superman stood amidst the rubble, helping rescue workers search for survivors. Despite his injuries, he worked tirelessly, his presence a beacon of hope for the people of Metropolis. Lois approached him, her notepad in hand but her concern evident. "Clark," she said softly, using his real name. "Are you okay?" He nodded, offering her a weary smile. "I'll be fine, Lois. Just another day on the job." As she scribbled notes for her article, Lois couldn't help but marvel at the man before her. Superman wasn't just a hero. He was a symbol of resilience, of hope in the face of insurmountable odds. And as long as he stood tall, the people of Metropolis knew they could face anything. But deep within the Fortress of Solitude, unnoticed by even Superman himself, a crack began to form in the Phantom Zone projector. A faint, menacing growl echoed from within, promising that the battle was far from over.